Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. I had to leave it for a second so you could see my background because I took that picture today and I just thought it was such a beautiful sunset. So, you guys, I'm at the beach, but Claus actually sent me this, and a special thank you to Claus. That means a lot to me that you made sure to get this to me ASAP. And I wanted to make sure to show you guys and talk about it with you guys ASAP. So, yeah, I don't know. It's Thanksgiving break. Kick your little feet up and hang out with me for a little bit while we try to go through and figure out what the heck is going on here. Thank you guys for being here, though. Let me say hello to you, and yeah, we'll get right into it. Hey, Pointer Lover. Hey, Kim. Hey, Hippie Chick. Hey, Chris. Claus. Hey, Meg. Julia, I'm feeling so much better. I feel like myself again. It took me several days to get over that. The kids are a little sick, but we're at the beach and we're making the best of it. So, and thank you so much. Hey, Adrian, Tess, hey, Sprinkled Donut, hey, Natasha, hey, Girls Nana. You might be able to hear the waves actually. Like I can hear them. I just don't know if you can hear them because I'm outside. Hey, Mally. Thank you, Kim, by the way. I love the beginning, too. I think it's interesting you guys think it's creepy because that was kind of the point, but I don't know that many people have noticed that. But it was supposed to be like the Dexter opening, like a kind of daily ritual, but a little creepy, a little weird, just almost like haunting, like one of you guys said. So, okay, so this was, okay, listen. I've been working on a couple ideas for a video today and for a couple different videos today. And I was just going to like try to record the video, download it, like re-upload it as a video. And that way you guys still have like updates or, stuff coming from the channel, but not necessarily lives. This was too big for me not to go live. I mean, obviously she's going to file for appeal. We knew that, but Leilani has filed for her appeal, and Danny has done an interview with the local news. Now, look, Klaus, and she said, I'm going to wait and watch it with you. So I waited too. I considered watching it. It's only a few minutes. We're going to watch it together. But first, I want to take you through the paperwork that was filed, a video from the local news about her filing her appeal, and then we're going to get into Danny's interview. Hey, JH. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, thank you, Kitty. Thank you, Sandy and the beach. It reminds me of Pretty Little Liars. Thank you, Meg. Oh, I'm jealous. We have a rental in PC in Gulf Shore, but haven't been able to get down in almost 2 years. Well, my mom got the house for us to spend Thanksgiving week together, and I'm just blessed and happy to be able to be here with my family, Pointer Lover, so I don't know. Like I said, I haven't got to see it yet either. Hey, Queen Bella. I actually just got it about 40 minutes ago. Hey, Music City. Oh, yeah. So, by the way, I'm just going to, and I had the mods split up from 2 channels, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to make time for the second channel. So, I'm just going to add them all back here. And then, as people come in, and then we'll go from there. But, okay, let me... And then, I pulled my phone up to pull the chat up so I could do that. But let's get this paperwork up real quick. All right. Hey, PB&J. I wonder what happened to her. If it comes out I had anything to do with this, I'll turn myself in. Exactly. I'll be the first to hold myself accountable. If it happens that I did something I don't remember. Hey, Chaos Queen. Ooh, Jennifer. Yeah, I would love to go to the Gulf. I've never been. My brother vacations there all the time, and he loves it a lot more. So that would be really cool. Okay, so here we go. State of Georgia versus Leilani Simon. Defendant's motion for new trial and motion to appoint appellate counsel. The defendant, Leilani Simon, being dissatisfied with the verdict and judgment. Sorry. Yeah. Leilani Simon, being dissatisfied with the verdict and judgment entered on October 25th, 2024, and sentence imposed on November 21st, 2024 in said case, and within the 30 days from said trial and judgment, moves the court for a new trial upon the following grounds. Now, they only have so much time to file this. So that's why we hear it, within the 30 days. These are the grounds they believe they have for appeal. I don't think it's going to work. I don't see this going anywhere, but here's what they say. 1, the verdict is contrary to the evidence and without evidence to support it. Okay, look, like I said, I don't think this will go anywhere, and I don't want to nitpick because I'll see that sometimes, people nitpicking shit just to do it. And I'm not going to do that and waste our time. But really, the verdict is contrary to the evidence and without evidence to support it? No. Not true. They actually, the evidence is what led them to the verdict. But okay. Number 2, the verdict is decidedly and strongly against the weight of the evidence. Says who? Says freaking who? Number 3, the verdict is contrary to law and the principles of justice and equity. And number 4, the defendant urges that a hearing be held to inquire into this matter and that this motion for new trial be granted. Leilani Simon further requests that she be allowed to amend this motion. You guys got a typo in there. Might need somebody to check your work. Leilani further requests she's allowed to amend this motion after the transcript of the trial has been prepared and appellate counsel has had a reasonable time to review it. Defendant also prays that the new appellate counsel be appointed as he wishes to raise a claim of ineffective assistance of counsel. Who is he? She? You mean or the defendant is Leilani. So she. And of course, she wants to be allowed to amend the motion. So, they went ahead and filed this quick. They have not even gotten the transcripts. And once they get that, believe me, they're going to have a million more reasons they want. So they want to say, okay, here's our placeholder because we know we most likely will have more grounds to file for an appeal, but we're going to go ahead and, say now that that's our plan. Hey, Melissa Jade. Good to see you. Hey, Boho Hobo. Hey, Remy. Hey, MS Girl. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you. Hey, Melissa. You guys too. Happy holidays. She signed the appeal papers before she left the sentencing. Let's see. Date 11/24 is when it was filed. Oh, that's for something else. I'll tell you guys about that at the end because I think Jen's going to make a video. We were talking about it, but we'll get to that in a minute. Defendant prays, A, that these grounds for a new trial together with any amendments be inquired of by the court and that a new trial be granted. B, the trial counsel be discharged and new appellate counsel be appointed. And C, for such further relief as the court deems just and proper. And then we have respectfully submitted the 24th day of November. So certificate of service. So Leilani has filed for an appeal. Not a surprise. Doesn't mean she's going to get it. Like I said, thank you again, Claus, for letting me know immediately. I'm really super thankful for that. I appreciate it. But Claus was like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad. And I'm like, hey, it's not going to go anywhere. We should talk about it. It's important. So I think that, but don't let it stress you guys out. I do not see this going anywhere at all. Again, let's look at her 4 reasons why she thinks she deserves a new trial. The verdict is contrary to the evidence and without evidence to support it. It's decidedly and strongly against the weight of the evidence. It's contrary to law and the principles of justice and equity. And number 4, the defendant and equity. And number 4, the defendant urges that a hearing be held to inquire into this matter. So, but bullshit. Taxpayer money wasted. Appeal for dissatisfaction. Apparently dissatisfaction is count for appeal now, not just a refund on your burger. Lisa says she thinks her counsel was ineffective. Her parenting was ineffective. PB&J, I pray she gets a harsher sentence in order to pay all the fees the DA asked for. So there's that. I like your picture. It's really cute. Hey, Cheryl. So glad to finally catch you live again. Okay, so now let's just go where this, I'm really excited to go through this with you guys. But before, we're going to get over here to Leilani Simon's ex-boyfriend speaks out, and we're about to watch this together. But first, I want to just look at this local news article, watch their video. It's pretty quick, 1 minute and 7 seconds. Following her life sentence on last Thursday, Leilani's defense team has filed an appeal in her case. Let's just press play instead of me reading this because I don't want to be too repetitive.
Thanks a lot, Shay. We're following Leilani Simon's sentencing of a life in prison last Thursday. Her defense team has filed an appeal in her case. The defense filed that motion for a new trial on Sunday, saying the Simons' guilty verdict did not have evidence to support it and that it was contrary to the evidence presented in court. The prosecution did not present any forensic evidence that...
Look at her face. She just looks so smug. Chaos Queen. I'm going to set on my hands. Hey, Wicked West. Hey, Kimberly. Okay. You're welcome, PB&J. I wasn't sure if I told you that before. I'm like, am I? Because I know I've thought that before. Like last time I saw it, I either told you or thought about telling you.
Proved how Quentin Simon died or who killed him during Simon's trial. Now, in the motion for a new trial, Simon's defense lawyers also saying that they be removed from the case and that someone who specializes in appeal be appointed to the case. Again, Leilani Simon was found guilty on all 19 counts against her, including murder. We'll continue to follow that case. So stick with WTOC for the very latest details.
And we will continue to follow it too. And thank you, WTOC. So you guys can find that. I'll just go ahead and link it. If it's a long link, it'll look like 2 comments. And the way that you view it is clicking on the second comment. Queen Olive, it was said in trial that Leilani did it. Sprinkled donut. I know appeals are part of the process, but sometimes they just shouldn't be allowed. Like when it's so obvious the person is guilty, just a waste of time and money. And I can understand why you feel that way. I think it would be dangerous to not allow for them, or you know what I mean, or to pick and choose who has the right. Because look, she's going to file this paper and I would almost guarantee it's going to go nowhere. The judge is going to say no. You know what I mean? But she at least had the right to raise, hey, awareness to what she believes is the truth of her situation. All right, now. Hopefully the internet's okay at this house. Like, do I sound okay, you guys? Yeah, if you weren't the one who took his life, why would you put him in a dumpster? Because we know it was you. Okay, we've seen you tell Danny that you lied about the Orajel. We know that your phone tracked you. We know you were caught on camera. It was you. Then you admitted it was you and you were throwing away food. I mean, I don't know. The game she plays. Ugh. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Her arrogance will be her downfall, just like Boone. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I was worried the internet might be bad, but it's probably going to be better. Kitty says, if I was being accused in the wrong of harming a hair on my child's head, nothing would have kept me off that stand. Hey, MK, you know what? Yeah, I cannot. Can you imagine being wrongly accused when something's happened to your child? Man, oh man, with all this stuff with Sebastian's case, and you know what? We'll talk about it at the end for a second. JH, you sound American. So guessing the sound is all good. I've missed you. I wish Wolfie was here. Remy says, just a waste of tax dollars. If she was claiming something and not just that she didn't like the verdict, it might have a chance. Yeah, not just, I don't think that the evidence proved that I was guilty. Oh, shit. Okay. I had a little thing happen with the internet. All right, here we go. Let's listen to what Danny has to say. I have been waiting to hear from Danny. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this. I mean, back in the day, I looked into it a little more, but since the trial, I have dipped my toe in to, like, some things surrounding Danny, his music and stuff like that. But I haven't like made any content out of it because I don't know. I don't want to be critical of him right now. But anyways, let's see what he has to say, and we'll talk more about it.
Leilani Simon, the mother convicted and now sentenced for the murder of her son, is now speaking exclusively to WTOC. Simon was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole plus 10 years last Thursday in the murder of Quentin Simon, her son. WTOC's Shay Schrader joins us now live from the newsroom. Shay, you spoke with Daniel Youngkin about his relationship with Leilani and her murder trial. He says he still carries trauma from this death of Quentin that happened.
Oh, of course he would. Can you imagine? Okay, so anybody in our life that's our family that we love, when we lose them, it is traumatic as hell, for real. And this is something else we're going to touch on at the end that's going to tie into the video I was mentioning. I know that Jen is working on. When you lose anyone, it's traumatic. Whether it's, hell, I just lost someone that was just a part of my actual heart and soul, and I never thought I would live without them. She was only, late 30s. Horribly traumatic. Imagine a 20-month-old that you are caring for, that you love, that the thing that, like we heard, Quentin would stand there and just yell, Danny, Danny, Danny. Oh my God, just the thought of it, like, just physically, like, hurts my heart. I cannot imagine. So I bet you he does carry some trauma, and then after all of that and all the bullshit he went through, and he works with police, he lets them tap his phone, he lets them tap the room. He has to testify. He has to. And he gets on the stand, and all of his history is drug out for everybody. And there's a lot of people out there that are just still on the damn train, just a misinformation bullshit train of, hey, I just need something to talk about to talk about like, for nothing, just to sit here to talk to. That's how I feel. Like, we've seen the evidence. It doesn't make any sense that Danny would have been the one to do this. You still will see people kind of questioning that. I don't get it. I just don't want to be too critical of him, and I know he's definitely been through some major trauma. So, all right, let's continue. Oh, Sprinkled Donut, I am so sorry. Damn, yesterday was 5 years since I lost my son, and I cried more than I ever saw Leilani cry. I am so sorry, Sprinkled Donut. Hey, Kaleidoscope. Hey, Forgets. Also, Crystal, if you happen to hear this, please email me, because I know they wanted to get a little card and stuff together for you, and but I need your email. JH, I'm dissatisfied with Casey Anthony's verdict, to be honest. Can I appeal? Natasha, I personally don't think he was that great at that point in time, so it makes it even more sad that Q was always calling out for him. Yes, all of his stuff got spread out. Like I said, he's drinking, he's snorting coke on a counter right by the kids. No. Like, I have no patience for that, you guys. There is no fucking excuse. In my opinion, if you are even considering spending money on drugs like that, you have no business having little children and being in control of them. But, at least somebody was there for Quentin. But, yeah, I'm with you, Natasha. It's sad. It's really freaking sad. Y'all know I've told you a million times how I feel about that. I do think that people can be in active addiction and still love their children. I just don't think that they're able to put their needs first. They're not. That's what addiction is, right? At the end of the day, but not completely. All right, let's keep listening. I just had to, offend people, do my daily offending. I'm sure people will be upset, but it is It is what it is. Okay.
Happened more than 2 years ago now.
Yes, good evening, Dawn. Youngkin says that he's been in therapy since the murder happened to talk not just about Quentin Simon's disappearance, but his relationship with Leilani Simon as well. He tells me that when he met Simon, she seemed like a genuinely nice person who was trying.
Oh, hold on.
The relationship, though, broke down.
Hold on one second. We had a little glitch, but I don't want to miss your guys' comments. I know I'm missing some. Sandy, I'm so sorry for all of you guys. PB&J says things that came out about she said when pregnant for him after she had him, in my opinion, shows that she's always had a deep resentment towards that precious baby. I believe that too. Kaleidoscope, I honestly thought they had video of her at that dumpster, not just the car. I thought this was going to be another Casey Anthony. I am so upset that those one cameras were indoor cameras placed outside, because I think that made all the difference. I really do. Oh, Kitty, I'm so sorry. My God. I'm just so sorry. You know, we're sitting here talking about these women who are throwing their kids in fucking dumpsters, and so many of you guys have lost your children. I cannot imagine, and I'm so sorry. And I'm sure that probably fuels your fire a little bit when it comes to these cases. Remy, that's what I'm saying, Alex. Even before doing the substances, how can you waste that money? Exactly. There's so many different little parts to it. It's not even about doing the drugs. It's about the fact that you're taking that money to spend on drugs. You're going to spend $100 at a time on drugs when you're trying to feed and clothe and take care of children. Oh, hell no. No. It is, JH. It's so sad. All right, you guys. And if I missed anything, I'm so sorry. I am direct current. Look, I'm going to press play. We're going to listen. But also, there is no way in hell that I will have people in my chat. And listen, this is not a pre-recorded video. And we come on here and hang out together and we're discussing what's going on. And when I hear other mothers sharing what they've been through and losing their children, there is no way in hell I'm going to just ignore it or just continue with the video. That deserves a pause. And I hope you guys can understand that. Hey, Kim. All right. So he says he thought Leilani was trying to get her shit together when he met her.
But his relationship with Leilani Simon as well. He tells me that when he met Simon, she seemed like a genuinely nice person who was trying to better herself after past issues. The relationship, though, broke down. Young can recount incidents of Simon verbally and physically abusing him. He says he stayed in the relationship because he had a daughter with Simon and cared for her, as well as Simon's 2 other children, including Quentin. The night Quentin went missing, Youngkin says that he was asleep in the hours that Quentin was killed, which bothers him to this day.
What do you
All right, so here's the interview. I'm dropping the link in the chat for anyone like direct current. You want to listen, you don't have to listen to commentary. Just click if it's 2 links, but the comment is too long, click the second link and it should take you straight to the interview. And yeah, that's all right. I understand some people just want the information. That's okay. Hey, Titanium. It's just the way I'm gonna do things. So, okay. Let's hear this.
you think happened knowing everything that you know now since that day?
It's something that's always going to bother me, is that I really do not know what. And I know that may be hard to believe for some people. It's the truth, though.
You know now since that day.
It's something that's always going to bother me, is that I really do not know what. And I know that may be hard to believe for some people. It's the truth, though.
Right. Okay. He says, I don't know what happened. Might be hard to believe, but it's true. I wish that the news would do interviews the way that like live streamers and stuff do, because you don't miss anything. Because we're just getting like what they chose to show us, you know. Thank you, hippie chick. He does look healthy. You're right, Remy. Hey, Sugar Magnolia. Hey, you guys coming in. Thank you, Katie. Okay. All right, let's keep listening. He does look healthy. And look, to me, like the fact that he's willing to speak out, that goes a long way too. He could run and hide, but you know, he had to testify for Quentin to get justice. He was forced to, right? But he's not forced to speak, and so I appreciate that he has.
I have beat myself up for so long for actually not, because if I was awake,
Oh shoot.
have
Hold on, we had a little glitch. Let's just go right here.
I have beat myself up for so long for actually not, because if I was awake, I could have done something at least. I just wish I knew more, to be honest. I still don't know.
Young testified during Simon's trial that he was abusing drugs and alcohol.
Wait, I
towards
want to
the
hear
end of
that
his
last.
If I was awake, I could have done something.
Okay, so yeah, and they're getting into the drugs. So it seems like he's kind of beating himself up, like I was passed out drunk, and if I wasn't, then could things have been different? And unfortunately, maybe. I think we all do this when we go through loss and trauma. It's like I do. I've done it with several people I've loved that I've lost, and just friends that I've lost, and I've thought, what if I called an extra time, or God, I wish the person I mentioned to you guys that was part of my soul messaged me the day before. We had a very brief back and forth because of me. I was too busy and I hadn't even opened the message. And it was just love and, miss you, love you, hey, what you up to, that kind of stuff. But I will forever regret that. So can you imagine the kind of regret? Now, you guys might have a situation like that. You kind of feel that way about as well. Can you imagine the kind of regret you would have if you were passed out drunk and this happened?
Something. Well, it's the truth, though. I have beat myself up for so long for actually not knowing. Because if I was awake, I could have done something at least. I just wish I knew more, to be honest. I still don't know.
Youngkin testified during Simon's trial that he was abusing drugs and alcohol towards the end of his relationship with her, including when Quentin disappeared. However, he says that today he's 5 months sober and is proud to have gotten to that point. I'll have more from this exclusive interview coming up on The News at 6. Live in the newsroom, Shay Schrader, WTOC News.
Thanks, Thursday.
Let me see.
For a new trial on presented in court,
There
died
is
or
more. One
who
second.
killed him during
I
Simon's
think
trial.
we have the rest of it too. Just 1 second. See, this is what I don't like about these interviews, though. Why can we not? Why can't we not just get it all? At one time. It's a little frustrating. Okay. WTOC. Let's just go to their homepage and see. Leilani Simon. 1 second. Chris says, I'm proud of him. Oh, and Katie, I'm so sorry. Hold on 1 sec, you guys. Okay, sorry. Let me see. Okay, I don't know why I can't find it. Let me just keep looking for a second, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go back to this for just a second. I do want to touch on something else regarding something that I'm very sure all of you guys are well aware of, but of the situation. But we need to see this. Let's see. Which this is just released. Maybe they haven't put the next part out yet, but I would think they would have. WTOC. Hey, Rambo. My doggy just got brought over here, and now he's already crying. He's like, I want to be with you. Okay, let's see. I feel he is really suffering. Proud of his 5 months clean. That's really hard in itself, much less carrying his guilt. Here, let me go back.
Now, in the motion,
Well, it's the truth, though.
The night Quentin went
They
missing,
played
young
literally.
Quentin was
This is
killed,
my problem
which
with the
bothered
local, with any news. Literally, they played like, oh God, it's just annoying. They give
him
us little
to this
clips
day.
of it instead of letting us see it all.
What do you think happened now since that day?
Something that's always going to bother me is that I really do not know it. And I know that may be hard to believe for some people. It's the truth, though. I
believe him.
have
do.
beat myself up for so
I'm
long
sure
for
you guys
actually
do
not.
too, honestly.
Because if I was
The
awake,
evidence.
I could have done something. Something, at least. I just wish I knew more, to be honest. I still don't know.
Youngkin testified during Simon's trial
Okay.
that he was abusing drugs and alcohol towards the end of his relationship with her,
Hey, poor Linda.
including when Quentin disappeared.
Hey, Trudy.
However, he says that today he's 5 months sober and is proud to have gotten to that point. I'll have more from this exclusive interview coming up on the news at 6. Live in the newsroom, Shay Schrader, WTOC News.
thanks a lot, Shay. We're following Leilani Simon's sentencing.
Hey, Ange. Ange says she's listening to the card, and today was a rough day, so I'm sorry that you had a rough day. Hopefully we can get your mind off of whatever you're
Of
thinking.
a life in prison
through.
last Thursday. Her defense team has filed an appeal in her case. The defense filed a motion for a new trial on Sunday, saying the Simons' guilty verdict did not have evidence to support it and that it was
Okay.
contrary to the evidence presented in court. The prosecution did not present any.
Okay, so we already heard that, but Chrissy says, I believe him. He was passed out. It's obvious in the hotel video he didn't know anything. And Rachel says he's taking more responsibility than she has. I'm really glad you mentioned that because it makes me just want to go back for a second to what we learned just 3-4 days ago when she was sentenced, to this little letter that she wrote to the local news and to what she's saying. So we have him admitting that he was wrong. He should have done better. And we have her, all of her family at the sentencing. Danny's just as guilty. He should have the same amount of time. And this is what Leilani has to say. It's just, While she's sitting in jail and her new hubby is a convicted child predator who she calls hubby and talks to all the time, Okay, so WTOC, this was just in September of this year. There is no factual evidence against me, none, as in no concrete, without a doubt, evidence. All the state has is speculation based on circumstantial evidence. Nothing, however, based in fact with undeniable proof/evidence. This is what the state doesn't have. I disagree. I feel like we got quite a lot, honestly. I really do. And yeah, you ruined it. So we couldn't get as much evidence as everyone would have liked, but still, without a doubt, there's no one else that could have been Leilani. She wants to make a point that they don't have all of these things. No DNA, no forensic evidence, no eyewitnesses, no murder weapon, no camera or video evidence, no time of death to prove I was at home during the tragedy, no cause of death, and no proof of any previous abuse to Quentin or other children. And that just is not accurate at all. It's an hour view. Should be uploaded by tomorrow. We'll be looking out for it, Alex, and send it to you. Oh my gosh, Claus, thank you. Well, as soon as that comes out, you guys, we're going to watch it all together. I don't have to be the first to go over it. I don't care if I'm 2 days behind. We're going to do it when we can and watch it all together. This has been like a journey I want to go on every step with you guys. So thank you so much, Claus. And I cannot wait to see it all. I think that, I'm really glad he's speaking out. Like I said, I wish it was a live stream, no cuts, no edits. But I believe him. I don't think he knew what happened. And I think that for the rest of his life, he'll probably have some regrets. And honestly, maybe he needs to, right? Like I'm all about tough love. He didn't take Quentin's life, and he's not responsible for what happened to Quentin. But he was one of the adults who was responsible for those kids. And at the end of the day, because of their immaturity, and addictions and things like that, them not being able to put the kids first, everyone as a whole, all of the adults in that home, right? This is just how I feel. Everyone has a little bit of accountability. He's actually taken his, though, and saying, I was wrong. If I was awake, even the fact that he's saying that, while she's making excuses, it wasn't me. Her family and friends are out here saying Danny should be arrested too. No, he should not. Danny had his phone tapped. The hotel room. I'm over it with all of that. I'm over it with a few things. I'm about to go off probably. So let me just fix something really fast. Hey, Lil Red. I didn't know I was going live either until Claus called me and sent me some messages and sent me this. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have to. Which, by the way, I'm changing again how I'm doing wrenches. Oh, wait, poor Linda. I accidentally. Hold on. It made poor Linda a wrench. I'm trying to give yours back, Little Red, because I'm not going to be doing the second channel right now. But okay, so let's get into something else. Let me just check your comments and then we will. Let it all out. As a mother, even if I was innocent of my child's death, I would take accountability. So many of us would gladly have adopted that little guy and given him a loved, kind, happy life. If you don't want your child, give that child to someone who prays daily for a child. Surely you are so right. Circumstantial evidence is evidence, Leilani. She really thought she would get away with it because there was no concrete evidence. Yes, she did. Okay. Opium boys and not so much a puppy. Oh, JH, we're doing really good. It's when life, everybody has their ups and downs and hard times and stuff they got to get through, but we're doing really good. And we have another little one living here now too. So it's just busier than ever. But I have missed you and I'm so happy to see you. I still think Billy Joe should have gotten jail time. Okay, so cutie pie. Yes, you can. You could absolutely have a hammer if I could give them out. Oh, neat. Thank you. Thank you for gifting a membership. Welcome, you guys. Thank you. Angela, so she was not on okay. She wasn't on camera throwing him in the dumpster. But because the outdoor cameras they had at the trailer park were actually indoor cameras and you couldn't see it. They did send it to the FBI, and I don't know if they were ever able to make anything more clear, and maybe one day they will. I don't know. But they do have her phone that had Life 360, her car on camera, all going to that dumpster, right? She admitted she went. She admitted that she stopped at the dumpster and threw away food. And they have her on video and on the phone telling Danny, I'm sorry I lied about going out to get Orgel, because that was her story at first. She's told, so many lies. Why do you lie if you're not involved? Oh, Queen Olive, you got it. Yay. PB&J, she could have woke Danny up or her brother, and she could have dropped him off at the neighbor's. There is no reason she did what she did. Well, then we have her. Let's not forget, before I get into what else I want to say. Then we have her admitting, okay, first, telling the FBI agent, Savannah, that when she does cocaine sometimes, or no, what was it? Sometimes she gets so mad she just snaps. She becomes another person. We also have her telling Danny right after this, I'm so sorry. I will not ever use coke again. There are so many little pieces that put this picture together. It was like a 10,000 piece puzzle, right? It's not one like 100% concrete video evidence of her committing the act and disposing of his little body. It was so many little pieces, but once they were all kind of put together, you could truly, really see the picture. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Interview with Savannah Solomon. She admitted she harmed and dumped him in a dumpster. That last interview that she had that last day, what was it? I can't remember now because it's blended in with her sentencing, which was the 21st, I think. So, but in November, right after they found Quentin, and she does that final interview, she does admit a little more. I don't remember her exact words. I would really like to see that full interview, like enhanced, where we can really hear it. And maybe we'll get that. Oh, wait, I have not told you guys on here. I've only kind of posted on my Patreon, but I may have mentioned it actually. But regardless, even in case you weren't here. So I reached out to try to get the records from the trial, and it was still going on when I did. So then I had to wait, and I think I had to email them a second time as it ended. Oh, come on now. Okay, I had to email them a second time as it ended, and they emailed me back and said this. Hold on. Actually, I'll just send it over to myself and show you guys that haven't got to see it. You know, it's hard because we all are, I don't know. The internet is a crazy place, and I don't know. Okay. Like I said, I got lots of thoughts and lots of things to say. It just finding the right way to say it. Okay, so before I do that, here's what they said. Dear sir or madam, we've received your recent request for records. Please be advised that after a diligent good faith search, we have found that no releasable pursuant to Georgia law, the matter is unresolved as a sentencing and post-conviction litigation are pending. Meaning they are not going, I don't think we will get this until she's exhausted her appeals, her right to an appeal. I don't think we'll be able to see all the evidence. Her car is on video turning into the trailer park. Oh, Carolina, thank you for rejoining. Hey, Stories with LJ. Life without parole, judge messed up. I don't think she will ever change. Someone who couldn't even admit what she'd done will never change. She's made herself believe her own lies. Okay, so we will for sure go over Danny's full interview when it comes out, and any other little pieces. Maybe I'll show you some of the things, like, you know, he's a musician and stuff, and I don't know. We'll get into that as soon as it comes out. But like I said, I do want to just touch on a few things. Poor Linda says, my grandson is almost 18 months old, and I cannot even fathom that someone could do what she did to little Quentin. I couldn't either, but I know, like, when you have a loved one that reminds you of a victim in a particular case, it kind of hits you in a different way, you know? And I know all about that. It's kind of part of what drew me to Gannon, because my oldest was the exact same age, very similar in hair color, eye color, body type, just everything. And I don't know. I know what you mean. So, all right. You guys know that Sebastian Rogers, he's a missing 15-year-old from Tennessee. His case has been extremely it's not even a case. He's a missing persons, and we don't know if there has been a crime committed, but it's pretty controversial, and it's a lot of people like to talk about it all the time, and that's fun, whatever. I've been in community, like that's what I started in the Watts community, and that's what we did all the time, was talk about a case. Yeah, it was closed, okay, and it was a little different, but I can understand being stuck and like wanting to know the answers. And I know that this goes on pretty much every day, all day, on like lots of different channels. I thought about this today when I was looking this stuff up. If you did a search, I'm not going to read the comments yet, so I can just speak for a second, but if you did a search on YouTube for that young man's name, you would find hundreds of channels. Each one of those channels, many of them have done 100 videos or more, truly. It's a good thing his face has really gotten out there. And it's kind of evolved over time, because at first his mom and stepdad were doing interviews, and they've kind of gotten more quiet recently. And his dad's kind of created this team of social media people. And, I don't, some of the people who watch me like one side, some like the other, some like everybody, some don't pay attention to any of us. I'm just giving you the like rundown of the landscape here. The parents' interviews, and this happens with true crime. Look at Dawn and Candace. I've done it on this channel. Interviewed and really went through every single word that they say. And kind of, oh, you said this then, and you said that then, or, we shouldn't. Some say we should always support him. Some say we shouldn't trust any of them. The police have said that they don't believe that there's foul play. Parents have cooperated, all of them. This young man's dignity, there has been so much that should have never been spoken about. It's unbelievable, truly. But I got to thinking, because the other night, his dad did a video. He did a live. And first thought is, a lot of people were mad. They're like, why is he doing lives? First of all, if 250 other fucking YouTube channels sit here and talk about this case day in and day out, I'll be damned if that man, I don't care. Look, I don't particularly have really fond feelings of anybody and their actions right now. But if anybody has a right to speak on that child, it's him. Damn it. And Sebastian's mother and stepfather. And that's the damn truth. And if people can't understand that, you've got to think about if it was your child. All these people who don't know him or don't know you are speaking, but mad when you speak. No. He has the right to speak, okay? But he does this video, and, I go to watch it, and I'm just like, we got Tony and Betty and all these characters, and I start playing it, and the music plays. It's that, I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the night. Oh my God, this song, man. If it doesn't if you don't feel something in your heart hearing that and knowing they're showing all these like missing kids posters. It was heartbreaking. I just sat there and cried. I'm crying now, even just saying the words to the song. It's sad. And I don't even want to talk about the army part of that. It's just the song. And then you see this man, and regardless of how you feel about him, his parenting, or anything, police have said that they don't believe any of the parents are involved. They're cooperating. He's sitting there with the green light behind him. And look, again, I'm not reading the comments right now at all. And you guys are so free to feel however you want. You can disagree, agree, whatever. I truly don't care. It will not upset me. I love for you to be able to voice your opinions. But he sits there and he turns on, he comes on and he's got like the green light overhead. And I'm just thinking, imagine there is no escaping this. We get on here and talk about these cases and we turn it off and we go to our families, we go to our jobs, we go do what we got to do. These people don't. They don't get to escape it. And it's so sad. I don't give a damn if his story is different from this time. I don't care if Katie's is different. I don't care. I'm not the police. I don't need all the information. They asked for the public to share his flyer. Who the hell are we to pick apart everything that they say? These parents are hurting and they're grieving, and it's freaking, God, it just hurts my heart. Like, if you can feel anything besides deep fucking sadness, oh, when you watch that and hear that song and see the posters. So I got to thinking, and I'm like, it's really not fair to critique them and how they, how their stories might be changing or how their memory, and they're angry. He's angry. Okay, if your child went missing with the other parent, I don't think Katie and Chris are involved either. And I think no one should be critiquing them either for the same reason I'm about to show you. But let me just say, let's be real. If my kid was with their dad and went missing, even if the dad had nothing to do with it, how could you not be angry? Think about that. But I started when we talk about trauma and the way it affects the brain and stuff, and I started watching these different YouTube videos, and I found this, and I thought this was so interesting, and I thought, and we know, okay, I just think this is the reason why we shouldn't be so critical of them. And I hope that maybe, and I know that it's hard. Like, we watch and we hear and we see some of the things that have never been put out there, and we care, and it can make us angry and make us judgmental. And I hope that I can just get through to some of you guys to understand, like, maybe we shouldn't, and maybe we should just be supportive of everybody and let the police figure it out. But here's the truth. This comes from, these are just, I can give you so many more sources. I was looking at this stuff forever. Jen and I talked about it in depth. Please go check out my friend Jen's channel, who is I'm going to drop it in the chat. She's going to be doing a video discussing this somewhat, but a lot of other stuff too. But I started looking up, how does trauma affect the brain? How does trauma affect your memories? And I thought this was interesting. So I know the amygdala as part of this too. It's a little confusing. I'm not great with biology or whatever, but so this says the hippocampus helps new memories form. In soldiers, studies showed that traumatic experiences during war may shrink a brain region called the hippocampus. Am I doing this backwards? Hold on. No. Okay. I wasn't planning on putting this in a live at all, but I want to show you. I was planning on trying to make maybe a little video or something, but we'll just talk about it at the end here. And so studies show that traumatic experiences during war were shrinking the hippocampus in soldiers. During trauma, the sudden, intense release of the stress hormone cortisol can overwhelm and kill some hippocampal cells. This may explain why some combat veterans have memory problems. During a memory test, expected activity in the right hippocampus did not show up in severely stressed young people. This just shows the way that the hippocampus isn't showing activity, and here it is. And remember, it says here the same thing, that the cortisol can overwhelm and kill those cells, which can cause memory problems. It can shrink, and then it can actually shrink. The lower activity could be an early sign that some hippocampal cells are dying off, but they can eventually regenerate. But here's the thing, there's a ton more. There is real scientific evidence that shows us that we should not be judging every word they say. And I've seen it with both of them. Oh, Katie's stories changed. She's lied. Why did this change? Why didn't this, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't that come up then? Seth, his stories changed. First of all, who gives a damn if they're not involved? Let them work through the trauma they're experiencing and find their son. I don't really think it's fair to beat them up all the time online, but also there could be a real scientific reason why their memories are not perfect, why things are changing. When you are going through trauma, the trauma of your son, I mean, we just talked about it in here, you guys. And I haven't read the comments yet. I'm just about to. I just wanted to get this out because it just upsets me so much. Like, the trauma that you experienced, we just talked about with Danny, losing a loved one, with Quentin, with your child. It's going to affect your brain. It can literally cause part of your brain to die, which will regenerate. And there's more. I was looking at all kinds of stuff about the amygdala, and I can share so many sources later if anybody wants them on my community tab or through email or whatever. But there is scientific proof of why we should not be picking them apart. We don't even have the right. We're not police, and they don't owe us every part of the story. But if they're out here willing to share about him and speak about him, number one, they have the right. They're his parents. And number two, every word they say, we shouldn't pick apart. And I'm guilty of this. This is like a huge thing that I've learned on my channel, and I want to try to change. I've done it to Dawn and Candace, and I am so deeply sorry for that. For real. It like, this is just, okay. I need to take a breath because this seriously gets me worked up and has affected me emotionally. And if no, it affects you guys. But I just wanted to say, like, damn, man, can't we just stop? Like, even if I don't care who talks about it, whatever, but can we just like give a little bit of kindness and grace and love and support? Whew. I wish people were, oh, I got a glitch. I'm sorry. I wish people were more supportive about what Chris and Katie are going through. And I agree, PB&J. I'm with you there too. Oh, Katie's story. How many times have I've heard so many times people say that she's lied and her story's changed. Well, you know what? I don't think it really has. I think maybe more details have came out. But if it has, she is experiencing major trauma right now. She's probably not going to be like the most accurate or on top of her damn game. Okay. Alex, we all have. You are not alone. I don't think the stories are changing. It's as time goes on, people remember more, even if they were changing. Like I said, there is a real reason why, and it's really not fair to pick them apart for that, especially for a bunch of people who don't have degrees or anything. And like any of this stuff, we don't know what's going on with them. Hell, I don't know this. I'm just trying to Google and learn about it. I'm just saying there are more qualified people if they need to be picked apart that can, but I don't think that their stories do need to be. Police have said they're all cooperating. They really need to stop being like, I'm sorry, but people have fussed and fussed and fussed about these people are tragedy pimps and they hurt families and they do this. Well, then you got some people kind of helping and looking out for Seth. I don't think he's getting the best advice. I'm just saying we got to think about it and give some grace. He might be making the decisions he's making because he's getting advice from God knows who. So I just don't want them to continue to bash that child and embarrass him. And see, I never thought, now I know when people were like, Chris and Katie called him goofy and this and that. Dude, that's endearment. Those are terms of endearment. In my opinion, I don't think his personal business should have been put out there. But calling him goofy and talking, I mean, my kids are goofy as hell. They are wild AF, for real. And I love the shit out of them. I will fight you over my kids. I will claw your eyeballs out. I don't give a damn. Like, you will not survive if you mess with my kids. And I'm able to protect them. And I'm there and I can, physically protect them. And I say my kids are goofy and like I said, they're wild AF. They're little shits. They can be heathens sometimes. They can be mean. They can be so good and so sweet and so loving. They're just wonderful. But that's part of being human, right? And I don't know. Alex, you're absolutely correct. Trauma does change your thoughts or blurs your thoughts. Aw, girls, Nana. Thank you. Hey, Ava. It's sad, man. I'm telling y'all, I sat there and bawled my eyes out watching some of this stuff and looking at it. It's just so hard. After a traumatic experience, you feel like you're out of your body. You can hallucinate. The lost and unfound, I wouldn't and couldn't give up knowing where my children's resting places were. The very thought brings me to tears. JH was actually one of the people who would challenge me about how I would question Dawn and Candace. And y'all, I was out of line. Every one of those videos are up. When I got demonetized, they demonetize all your videos, and I never turned the monetization back on. So they're not up to earn money. I'm not earning shit from them. But they're up, and I don't want to take it down because that's not good either. So, but I was doing the same thing, and now I look it back and I'm like, dude, you had no right. I had no fucking right. Who the hell did I think I was? For real. Who the hell did I think I was? I don't know. Oh, wow, poor Linda. If you have a trait for Alzheimer's, a traumatic event can cause the disease to show up sooner, so this makes sense. Oh, Kimberly, thank you. It has a significant impact on memory and cognitive abilities in general. Cha-Cha says Leilani will be 63 before parole even begins to come up. Oh, thank you, Natasha. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry. Like, I can go back, and I know I missed a whole lot of comments, and I know they were good. You guys, I feel like you have always more to add than I do, like better things to add. But I know I missed a lot. Edith, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Hey, Kawaii Tosh. I forget a large portion of my 20s due to trauma. Oh, JH, like I said, I'm still here and was never disrespected by you. You listened to me. Many other creators didn't. Yeah, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate your input, for real. JH was all, like I said, in here challenging me and questioning me about how I was questioning them. I didn't. There goes the glitch again. I didn't have a right to question them. That's just the truth. It is what it is. I just wanted to talk about that for a second because it has just like physically really upset me. I've talked about it privately with some of my friends, and if you didn't watch Seth Rogers' Lab on that boy, and I'm telling you, here, how about this? Let's do a little experiment, and then I'll let you guys go. Okay? Hold on. Sebastian Rogers. Let's look how many videos there are with his name, like about him. If you didn't watch Seth's video, please go check it out. Just even the first few minutes with all the missing flyers. That's really what I want you guys to see. See the missing flyers, hear that song, and then you will hear like where I was at and where I was coming from when I started getting into this thought process. Because I sat there and heard that and just cried. It's freaking heartbreaking. Look at this. Dude, we're just through some of the news. There are so many channels. When Nonsense just named the channels that were doing tarot and readings, there was like 100 or right under. If all these people have the right to talk about what they think and give their opinions and show that young man, show his pretty little face and his flyer and talk about his, health and his trauma and what he's been through or whatever. All these people are talking about everything. I do believe that his parents have a right to speak if they want, and we shouldn't go, why are you going live? It's their kid. Or why are you talking to a YouTuber doing an interview with Chris and Katie? They all have the right to speak out, in my opinion, and they all deserve a little bit of grace, a little bit of kindness, a little bit of love. You know what I mean? So anyways, you guys, I really appreciate you all so much. Let me see it. Ah. That sounded like Eminem in that song. Ah. I can't even do it. I'm going to come in on my phone so I don't lose the comments when this dies. But yeah, thank you for being here and listening to me. I really appreciate it. I think the change with Sebastian's case, it has to start from the dad. He has to stop coming on YouTube, any social media, and bashing the mom. I agree with you. I really do. But I will say, like, it would be so hard if your child went missing in the other parent's care. And I think Katie's 100% innocent. People need to leave her the fuck alone. That's the truth. But I can understand, like, his frustration, plus whatever personal issues they had before, right? But I agree. I wish, and it's hard. This is the other part of that PB&J. There are people in his ear giving him advice that will do everything to keep that from happening. For real, I believe that. Hold on. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna let you go. I just didn't want to end. I don't have my stuff out here, my cord. I thought I would be quicker, and I didn't want to end without the comments up so I can read through what you guys have to say. No need to feel bad, Allie. We live and we learn and grow. These missing children cases are the hardest to deal with emotionally. You know, it is, we live and we learn, but then again, is it? Like, if I'm making somebody's traumatic experience worse, and there's no redoing that, there's no taking it away, there's no, I'm sorry, it doesn't fix shit. It's kind of like when you lose someone you love, and there's really nothing anybody can say to make it better. I don't know. It's just, how can you not feel guilty? But thank you, Ange. I do appreciate that. And I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just on one. Queen Olive, where can I find it? I had to step back from his case for a while. The drama was overwhelming. It totally is. And I don't even necessarily recommend the entire video. It's up to you guys, of course. What I truly recommend is the first few minutes, you get to see all the missing flyers, hear the music, and just like take that moment in and kind of remember where we are and what we're doing here. And for us, it's just something in your phone or whatever, for a lot of us, right? And you put it down and go on about your day, but we can never forget that that's not the case for these people. You know what I mean? I have wondered how these channels can go all day long on his case. How, I don't know, it depends. If it's, there's not a lot of information on the case, but there's a lot that's happened with people involved and kind of things they say and do. So, like the drama side of it, there's a lot to go through, I suppose, but not for the case. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. All right, you guys. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you for being here. It's okay if you don't agree with me, too. For real. It's okay. Just consider what I said and kind of think about it and sit with it a little bit. And yeah, thank you guys for everything. As soon as Danny's full interview comes out, we'll go through it. Be on the lookout for Jen's video on that topic. And thank you for everything. Hug your loved ones because life is short. You know, after we got off here the other day and Crystal shared about her daughter, I don't know, man. Like I said, hug your loved ones. Life is short, and just all we can do is try to do better, tomorrow. But anyways, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time with me. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.